Hey, what's going on? It's Will Graham, the Gorilla Gamer. Thanks for stopping by. Thought it might be fun to go ahead and do a top 5. So, I wanted to go ahead and do a top 5 of my all-time favorite Super Nintendo shooters. So, let's get started.
Honorable mention D-Force. D-Force is by Asmic, and it came out for the Super Nintendo in December of 1991. It's a really good vertical shooter where you're a helicopter. And it's tough. And it is tough. Let me tell you. But known in Japan as Dimensional Force. Um, Here in America, it was called D-Force. But you fly around in an Apache helicopter. One of the reasons that this one is an honorable mention is because it's very easy to get shot because of the sprite size of the helicopter you're flying around in. It doesn't seem it just kind of provides a big target for you, but it's a lot of fun. I had this game back whenever I first had my Super Nintendo back in the early 90s. A buddy of mine also had it as well, and man, we could never beat it. This was about as tough as Tiger Pelly on the Nintendo Entertainment System. But it has very good graphics, real good gameplay. I like the music and the sound effects. Everything is really good on it. And the mode 7, whenever you crash to the water below. Gotta love the mode 7 effects. Honorable mention, Supernova by Potato. This is an excellent shoot 'em up. Problem is it's extremely hard. This is probably the hardest one. But it's not hard in the fact that if you play it a lot, you can memorize the patterns of the bad guys and their ships, and go from there. But this is based after Darius on the Super Nintendo. Has really good sound effects, really good graphics. I love the stories on these. They always try to give these a story of, but when it comes right down to it, you're just shooting. You're just shooting enemies out of the sky. This one is a horizontal scrolling shooter. And right here, you get to pick your different type of starter fighter. I always pick the blue one because blue is my favorite color. It is brutally hard. I swear to God, I get to the same place every time and die. See? I told you. This one is just me. I am going to memorize the bad guys eventually and get a little further than what I did here on this screen cap. But yeah, it's also known as Darius Force. But it is brutal. Now, number 5, Super R-Type. Super R-Type was one of the first games that I'd actually seen coming out for the Super Nintendo's launch. And a Nintendo Power. And it was this and ActRaiser and Castlevania 4 were my 3 launch games that I got. And this game is pretty much this one's pretty much R-Type 2. But I love the charge shots, I love the colors, I love the graphics. This game is very nostalgic for me. I highly recommend you picking it up. I'm not sure how much it's going for, but if you can find a good deal on it, I would highly recommend it. Excellent game. You destroy the Bido in this game. Ton of fun, ton of fun. But this one comes in at number 5, primarily because, well, I like the other ones that I picked a little better. But this one is an excellent game, and I have yet to beat it because this one is another really hard one for me. Might not be for a lot of people, but for me it is, and you'll see right there. Lovely. Number 4, Gradius 3. Gotta love the Capcom opening. Or, Capcom. Gotta love the Konami opening. Wow. Gradius 3 is amazing to me, and it comes in at number 4 because I loved Life Force for the Nintendo, or Salamander, as it was known in European countries and in Japan, I believe. I love this beginning. It really reminds me of Wing Commander, the beginning of Wing Commander. What an amazing game this is. Let's do the 30-man code. I'm sure it works there. On this one, I just went ahead and picked the simple layout. Life Force was one of the first games that I beat on the Nintendo back in the day. I did use a 30-man code to beat it. Oh. Got knocked out of the sky before I even got rolling. But this is just one of those classic games to me. As a horizontal side scroller, again, it takes me right back to Life Force or Gradius on the original Nintendo. I have a lot of nostalgia for this game. I made a mistake trying to get all of the other power-ups except for the speed. Alright, number 3 is Raiden Trad. This one is just one of my favorites. Now, when I did the screen capture of this, it didn't come out very smooth as I wanted it to. But that's okay. Raiden Trad came out for the TurboGrafx 16 as well as the Super Nintendo. And man, this is one of my favorites. God, I got this one back in the day as well. And co-op with a buddy is just so much fun. And this game is actually very playable. It's tough. You can set the difficulties higher, but it's highly playable. And I also love the fact of getting all the medals. Not only that, the Raiden, airplanes, The jets are awesome looking. And I love the music on this game. And I like how you just lay waste to all the buildings below, and excellent game. Next, number 2, we got UN Squadron. This game holds a lot of nostalgia for me, and the reason I picked it for the place that it's in is because when I went on vacation with my family when I was about 10, and at the hotel in the arcade area they had downstairs, they had UN Squadron, and I played the hell out of this game. It is tough. It is one of those that whoops my butt every time I go to play this. I mean, especially when I was doing the screen captures of these. Wow, it was tough because, again, the frame rate, it was just off, so it was hard to get past the first stage. I always pick Greg Gates. He could take a few more hits than the other guys I found. And it's all about making money. At first I'll just be able to fly the F-8E. Get your power-ups. And this game is just a blast. It has that classic Capcom feel to it. The music, very tight controls. They throw a lot of enemies up on stage to make the bullet hell pretty quick. This has some of the best music as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how much this game goes for, but if you can find it cheap, again, this is a shooter that's a must-have on the Super NES. Number 1. My favorite shooter on the Super Nintendo. R-Type 3, the Third Lightning. That opening reminds me of Wing Commander 2. Pick my force. I always pick that one. Warp speed out to kill some Bido. This game just did everything right as far as I was concerned with R-Type. Love the music, the graphics, the mini bosses. I love all of the different type of Mode 7 techniques they use in this game to flip it, turn it. It's just stellar. This is one, if you can find for a good deal, definitely snatch this one up. You will not be making a mistake. I mean, I wouldn't have picked it for number 1 if I didn't think it was awesome, right? There's so many good shooters on the Super Nintendo. So many good ones. If you can stay alive. On this run here, I think I did a little better. But at least just for a few seconds to show you why I think this is number 1. I like it a little better than Super R-Type because there's not as much frame lag.
That's my list. I'd like to hear your list. So go ahead and put your list down in the comment section below. I'll love to read them. And see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by.